So I wanted to tell you guys about a dream that I had last night. First of all, as of lately, I have been having a lot of lucid dreams. So as of lately, I've been having these dreams whereas you get on the elevator and then when the elevator is supposed to go down to the first floor, it will go down to the first floor, but it will go lower to the point where it just sinks into the ground. You understand what I'm saying? To the point where nobody could catch you. Nobody can help you. You're just deep down into the fucking ground. It's almost like being buried alive. But as of recently, I had a dream whereas that was the thing that was happening. But I closed my eyes and I was like, I don't have to go through this. I could switch my own timeline. And before you know it, I was back in school. I was back in 7th grade. But the difference is I wasn't the version of myself that I was in 7th grade. I went back to 7th grade being the version I am now. And I kind of had the attitude where it's like, okay, I dare a bitch to play with me. I dare a bitch to test me. I dare a bitch to try to get me to conform to who they want me to be. My storage was full on my phone, so now I'm talking to you guys on my computer. But to continue on my story, I do feel like some of the strength that I've grown to have now is not the same strength that I've had when I was younger. So as of recently, I've been having a lot of visits in previous timelines and previous nightmares and kind of doing this thing whereas I close my eyes and I just switch the timeline. But then that started to make me think, why do I keep going back to middle school? Why do I keep going back to this elevator that keeps on sinking into the ground? And I started to journal and I picked up on a fear that I've had of being erased. So ever since I was younger, and a lot of the people that are trans, especially at a young age, that might not know what trans mean, they could kind of relate to this experience of feeling erased, of feeling like, this identity that I am trying to have or trying to express is something that nobody approves of. So it must be something wrong. It must be something wrong with me. So I think as time goes on, we start to conform into what society wants us to be and shape our personality around that. And I think a lot of trans people go through that. And I wanted to talk about that today in a YouTube video when people are talking about like, yeah, I don't think the youth should take hormones. I don't think the youth should do this. I do believe that at the age of 13, 14, 15, if you do know that you are trans, then absolutely you should be allowed to do hormones. When it comes to sex change, I do believe that people should wait until they become like around like 16, 17, 18, 19. I mean, bitches is getting BBLs at the age of 17 and 18 anyway, so why not? So I am an advocate for that because of reasons like that, like having to deal with a lot of feeling erased, having to deal with, not knowing the ins and outs, but always being told that what you're trying to be and what you're trying to express, which is your authentic self, is wrong. And I wanted to bring the attention to a lot of people. This is the reason why a lot of people out there that are under the age of 15 that do identify as trans, they should be able to receive a lot of the things that they're not able to receive now. Because even when I was younger, I do know deep down inside I was a woman. As soon as the doors would close and my mother would go to bed, I'll put a shirt over my head, put a little makeup on my face, and act like I'm one of the girls on reality TV shows, or I'm one of the girls on Flavor of Love, because those were the girls that I had the big butts and the big boobs, and I always wanted to be exactly the woman that I'm being now. A lot of the dreams that I've had in the past week have been dreams to remind me of where I come from. I do feel like this has been a chance for me to go back to certain timelines and seal them up by solving them, by letting my old self know, bitch, it's okay. You are that girl. I genuinely feel like I've been going back in time in my dreams to go ahead and heal. Now, everybody has their own belief, but I do believe that there are multiple parallel timelines happening at the same time. So just like the present timeline is happening, there's a past timeline that's happening that keeps on happening over and over and over again, where a lot of our trauma is rooted in, and it's up to us to go ahead and solve it. That's why when people ask, okay, where did this come from? And a lot of counselors want to know what's the root of it. It's important for you to go ahead and go back to your childhood. And I feel like that's what a lot of my dreams have been able to allow me to do. Go back to my childhood as the version that I am now and solve a lot of the things that I haven't had solved a while ago. But it definitely motivated me to go ahead and let people know how it is to be trans and be young. When somebody is trans and the whole world is telling them, bitch, you shouldn't be like this, it creates this fear of being erased because you're being told who you truly are should not be allowed in this world. That is a hard, detrimental feeling. Could you imagine feeling like that every day of your life? I do believe that a lot of trans youth nowadays do need to be listened to more, and I feel like what other better time to talk about this other than Pride Month? No shade, I feel like the awareness needs to be there a little bit more than it is. So if you are young and you know you are trans, It does not matter how old you are. I'm telling you, own who you are. Do not let the world stop you from being your true self. Let me tell you, the ones that's closest to you can tell you who you're being is wrong. But if you feel like deep down in your heart that's who you're meant to be, and that's who you are, and that's who you want to be, please do not let them erase you. Do not let them erase your identity. My points of this video is for people to listen more so to trans people, for there to be hormones that a lot of trans youth can have access to. Don't let a lot of the trans youth grow into puberty, because at that point, you know, I feel like a lot of trans people already deal with gender dysphoria. Could you imagine letting your child grow into puberty when they know what type of identity they want to have, and now they have to go through hell with their bodies conforming to something that they themselves know that they do not want to conform to? Please listen to them. We cannot keep on yelling on top of our lungs, why are so many young people killing themselves, when not enough people are listening to these young people? If a lot of people is telling this young person that who they are is wrong, they already feel like they're dead, because who they truly are cannot be shown without it trying to be erased by all of society, and even the ones that's closer to them, meaning their parents, their cousins, their grandparents, the ones that tell them every night and morning and afternoon how much they love them. And another point that I wanted to talk about in this video is the psychological damage. You don't understand how psychologically damaging it is to tell somebody that is just being who they are, that being who they are is completely wrong, and everybody hates it and everybody hates them. So listen before judging, know before assuming, and honestly, have an open fucking heart. It's important for you not to have to relate to somebody to care about what they're going through, or have to relate to somebody to help them. Me having these dreams definitely motivated me to tell you guys about this, because I knew there was a reason why I was having these dreams, and I was talking to my boyfriend about it. He was like, well, maybe this needs to be in a video, and I am happy he said that, so I can help anybody out there that's a part of the community, or anybody out there that has that type of community in their family, so that they can kind of get a little understanding of what goes on mentally with a lot of the trans youth, especially nowadays, where a lot of the media are the ones that's telling them who they are and what they are is completely wrong, and bullying them. Sometimes it's not the media that's encouraging them to be who they are, it's the media that's encouraging them not to be who they are. Your kindness could be the savior for somebody else's life, and I want you to resonate on that.